back to the charts with Big Boss Crypto, bringing on a day trading analysis on Bitcoin and on Chainlink. Today we're gonna take a look at why Santa might be coming to town during the next couple of weeks and bring us a rally, or should we take a look to the downside, because I'm seeing some scary things going on to the downside, and I think 14k is a target potentially going into the next year. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm gonna give you why I might potentially go long if we form a W bottom in this area. So I'm waiting for that before I start to go long. And why do I think about longs when the market is dumping every week? Well, because we have some volume candles to the upside which hasn't been recovered. I marked them up for you in the chart. The first target is at 17k to 17,500, and we have some at 17,500 to 17,695, and the potential topping out target is at 18k. And you know the structure, right? We have had, in my opinion, potentially 3 drops to the downside here, and that is why I'm waiting for the W bottom confirmation before I start to go long. However, I'm still running my shorts, which I've shown you during my last couple of day trading updates, and potentially we could go down to 15.7k, which is the target I gave you in my last video, and that is where the closest volume counts to the downside resides. We formed a couple of them today, I don't count that, but to the downside we have at 15k and potentially even down to 14.5k. Let's take a look at the news events this week. We didn't have much yesterday and nothing today. We had the Japanese yen stating some things which potentially might be a thing of concern for the Japanese yen. But it didn't affect the crypto market, it affected the stock market. And I think that Bitcoin is in for a dump before a potential local bottoming out structure. And that is potential where we might reverse and form that W bottom which I'm talking about. And that might happen during tomorrow because we have the consumer confidence news event coming out. And as you know, they are expecting 101 as their target. If we are below 101, I think we might have a mini pump to 17k. If it's above 101, well, we're going to continue to downside. And we have unemployment claims on Thursday, and on Friday we have the core PC price index. Not a lot of news, but we have some news which could move the market to the upside or to the downside, which you have to keep in mind. Wait for the news to come out and then place your trades if you aren't in any at the moment. If we take a look at the liquidation map for Bitcoin, we can see some interesting things. We have a spike of liquidations at exactly 14,853, where $50 million is residing, and we have them at 13.9, the 14k area as well. A thing which I'm concerned about, to be honest with you. We could grab the liquidity to the upside at 17.3k approximately before we reverse and have a huge dump covering these liquidation points and grabbing the money to the downside. If we zoom out a bit on the liquidation map, we can clearly see that there is a lot of money to the downside for the market maker to grab, and I think he might grab it because look at these spikes. We have them at 14.8, we have them at 13.9, we have them at around 13.1k, and we have them at 11k as well. So more money to the downside doesn't mean the market maker is gonna grab the money and move price to the downside. It just means, it just gives us information basically. They like money, so if there's more money to the downside, then there's more likely that they will move price to the downside, and vice versa. This is just information, it's not certainty. That's what I want to point out. That's it for Bitcoin. Moving on to Chainlink, then we can see that it has dropped to the targets I gave you in my last day trading update. I hope you took some trades, because yeah, we just have the last target I gave you, which is the volume candle in this area from 5.658 to 5.58, 5.94 basically. Sorry. And that is the last target on the 1 hour time frame, and I think we might have a dip down to this area, and I think we might form an interesting structure if we grab that liquidity, which is to the downside. I think that is where we might reverse potentially. And if we do that, and I see that we're moving towards the $6 mark, I might play some longs, because we have a lot of volume candles which is unfilled in this area to the upside from 6.278 up to $6.8 and even up to $7.4. So if we create this W structure, wow, it's a great opportunity for you to go long. So watch out for that. I'm waiting for this drop and then a retrace up to the $6 mark before I'm looking at some longs, because we have some volume candles to the upside, and that means that a lot of orders are in this area which are unfilled. They moved price aggressively with a lot of sell orders, and for someone to sell, someone has to buy. And yeah, if we move to this price target, that means that someone is buying at this price point, and the market maker is the one buying up these contracts. So that's basically the idea of this whole thing with the volume candle structures and the trading strategy that I use, which is pretty solid in my opinion. If you've been following this channel, you can see that it's working quite well. You just have to manage your timing and your leverage. But basically that's it for Chainlink. I'm waiting for the retrace down and the retrace up before going long. So I'm gonna end this video with looking at the DXY chart on the daily time frame. We can see that we've been dropping for the last couple of weeks, and that we have created some volume candles to the upside, which is unfilled at the moment. So that means that if the dollar index moves to these targets, Bitcoin will drop to the downside and potentially grab that liquidation points to the downside at the 14k area. However, at the moment we've been dropping. I think we could potentially continue to drop to the 100 area, and that is where we might reverse, but that's potentially in January, and that's bringing me some confidence that we might have a mini pump going into the New Year's. Basically that's my thought process about the end of this year. I'm gonna give you a video about the outlook on 2023 and why I think that year will be pretty important if you are investing in crypto and believing in crypto. That video is gonna be a treat for you, because I'm gonna give you all the information I have and why I think the 2023, the year of 2023 will be an important year. So please like this video and subscribe to this channel. See you soon. Big Boss out.